on the data, we were just under 200 when it blew up. If anyone knows Lakeside, there's a corner.
Yeah.
And I kept it straight, but I never made the corner.
Right, over the last couple of years, I've seen Nana at a few events running very, very, very fast.
Yeah.
I'm here with Paul Butler. We're going to find a little bit about Nana and how it came about, and tell us a bit about what it is.
A little TX Gemini. I got it off I was racing Geminis, like circuit racing. There's a series in Queensland that we race circuit race Geminis in the production, like class. And someone contacted the club and said they had a Gemini to get rid of for $300, and I saw the photos and went, oh my God. So I rushed around there and bought it. It's like a lady lost her license, and it's a one-owner car.
Yeah.
300, I felt bad, 300, but we're on a budget, eh? So yeah, so I got it, and it sat for a while. I just didn't really know what to do with it, eh?
Yeah.
I was still circuit. I was never going to use it as parts of my circuit. But it sat there for a while, and then just decided on an SR20, like with a goal of 300 horsepower or something. Had a manual in it, and then it's grown into over 1,000 horsepower these days, eh? So
a bit of a no prep monster.
Yeah, I mean, I like the no prep stuff. You know what I mean. I mean, I'm not a full cylinder guy. You know what I mean. I'm a V8 guy.
Yeah.
And I just sort of fell into it, so we just progressed. And the 4-cylinder platform seems good for the no prep. You know, like lower torque. You know what I mean. Like doesn't knock the tyre off as hard. So
The top end is important, right? And bit of mid-range torque, especially you'd be creating that we'll get into the combo, but
I mean,
you've got that much tech in the car too, in terms of
that's right. With the Heltec stuff, but I mean, let's be honest, with the guys that make 14 with the twin turbo LSs and the big engines, I'm never going to hang with them on a full prep track out the back. You know what I mean? So I know my lane, and so
get in and get out.
Yeah, try to stick to that lane. So, but don't get me wrong, it's no slouch up there. You know what I mean? So
it's only a few more PSI away from maybe,
It's all the PSI. No, it's funny. We were at Coralbin, I think, last year, and Justin was tuning. Justin from Horsepower Solutions, who tunes the car, he looks after another little Timmy mate of mine with a Datsun, and he was like tuning. He's giving him, I won't say the boost numbers, but he was doing Timmy's car, and I said, how much boost is that? And he told me, and I went, hang on a minute, mate, what about mine? Let's turn it up. And when we actually started really turning it up, it's good. So we're that far off the map.
Yeah.
Like I said, we'll talk about it, but I got a couple of nitrous kits that help me get past that, so.
Let's talk about where the car is at now. Give us a bit of front to back, the combo of the car.
So, SR20, 2.2 litre. It's got a Nitto rotating assembly. Like a DET bottom end, but it's just got a front wheel drive head on the front, on the top. Not a VE or anything like that. A G35 turbo 1050 C4. It's got a M78 rear in it. And that's what it is. We just come out with 325s on it for the first time. So I just did that a week before we came. A few of the boys were putting 325s on, so I'm like, I'm going to do that too. We all can, can't we? But you know what I mean. Like I think we should have 275s. But if they're going to run 325s, then I'm going to.
You got to play the game.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. Yeah, I'd be happy if they said for a rule, like for the classes, the 275 is the top tyre, and then you're another class. I'd put 275. I like 275s. But if they're going to run them, I've got to run them. So.
Give us a bit of a vibe about the look of the car. It looks very standard. The plates is kind of like, it's no mistake it looks like that, and the plate as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, it had a sun visor on. I ran that for years, and then when I started wanting to go fast, doing
might be costing you a tenth.
About 7 mile an hour.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so that had to go.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I loved it with the visor.
Yeah.
It was factory. It's a factory colour.
Yeah.
The car, it's got fiberglass bars on it now, but the whole car I painted, but never. It's all original. Like the windscreen rubbers, the door cards, all carpet, all that is original. Never touched it. I didn't restore it. All I did was paint it, you know what I mean? So it just had some sun damage.
I can see why for $300 you were like, I've got to get this. And you can see why you were, I don't want to destroy it.
No rust in a Gemini, which,
very rare. I've had two of them, and both of them rusty.
Someone's put a little tiny patch in the boot floor, which is gone now because it's got a rear-mounted radiator in it anyway.
True,
So apart from that, and I just didn't want to... I chop and change because it's a no-prep car, so we change it so much. So I don't want it to be all, you got to get in sometimes and change it, and you're worried about what it looks like. So, it's a bit it's just nice, you know what I mean? Not too nice that I'm not worried about chopping it up, you know what I mean, or trying something.
Did you have to source these wheels or they came with the car?
No. Just had standard 13-inch wheels on it. So hubcaps. I ran hubcaps for a while.
Yeah.
Got 15s made. Put little tabs on it so I could run the hubcaps. But you start chasing weight, get rid of the steel wheels. So these are Commodore VB SLE wheels, and we chop them, weld bands to them. So they're 1510s on the back now, and 15.4s. So they make them from a 6-inch standard wheel. So because I just like standard look, you know what I mean? Like,
it matches the whole car. I love that the car's also fast, but it's got a theme. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I've got a coupe that's at home. It's going to be a radial car. It's 75% built. Big turbo, dark block thing. You know what I mean? LS thing. Try something. It'll be a good thing. But you're like, those were the wheels I did for it originally. Yeah. And then that was before I went to the dark block, and we were going to put 700 and that was going to be all right. So then I end up buying weldies for it, bead locks and everything as you do. So when I was tubbing this, I sat them in there. I hated the look of the deep. I hated it. Yeah, right. So I'm like, oh well, them wheels are going here, and and those deep dishes go on that car. So I'm not or never going to put deep dish on it. So
tell us about after you put the combo and what it was like the first drive, like how surprised you were, or
Well, the car went 980 at a 1,000-foot pass with 420 horsepower back in the day. It had no roll cage, so trying not to run at 10, and it ran a 980 then with 400 and something, got booted, and they weren't happy with it for a while, so we never went back to Willowbank. I've never been back, so but the car's quite safe, you know what I mean? Like I've had one, I did crash it at Lakeside, I knocked the rods out of it, windowed it, and I was spinning on my own oil, kept it straight luckily, and but hit the Armco, so that's when the cage went in it. So it gave me a little bit of a scare because on the data we were just under 200 when it blew up. Yeah. And if anyone knows Lakeside, there's a corner. Yeah. And I kept it straight, but I never made the corner. So hit the Armco down the side at about 80 k's. So I was like, okay. So we give it a little freshen up, put a cage in it. And it's much safer now. So because we'll race it eventually, but just not now. It's a no prep car now. So
But to drive, it's got to feel bloody. I've seen you cruising a little bit here and there. It's pretty cool. I must say, Billy said he's been in the car. Billy Sheldon.
Yep.
He said he'd never get back in it with you.
No, well,
Not for you driving crazy.
He's soft though, isn't he? No. Put it this way: it's like if you ride a Harley and then you hop on like a Ninja or something. You know what I mean? It's loud and goes through the gears quick, and it dances around. But I'm used to it, so it doesn't sort of scare me, but it does. A lot of people don't like it. Yeah. Short wheelbase, and it gets going. You know what I mean? So it hooks up. Like it on the street, it'd hook up better than here. This is slipperier than the street, really. So when you test on the street, which you don't do, of course.
Yeah, of course, no.
You don't do that.
No.
Don't do that. But it hooks up, goes real quick. So
a few events you do, like obviously competing here this weekend at Rockynats, but what sort of stuff you love to do? No prep's really where you love to use this car.
Exactly. There was Oz 8 had one at Coralbin. It was unreal. Mint place. It's an old airstrip. Yep. Same thing. Not a very good road. Very bumpy. So equaliser for everyone. You know what I mean? So and they do a $5,000 shootout, which I was lucky enough to win. And what I said at the end of it is not that it was $5,000. It was the cars I beat. It was some good cars. Yeah. So the Hoff, he was there in his Corolla wagon who won the roll race, and it wasn't going that fast when he was there. He's got it going really good. But you know what I mean? Like the quality of cars that we had for the shootout was unbelievable. You know what I mean? So that's a good event. Lakeside's doing up our way is doing heaps of no prep stuff now, and it's a killer track. Like when I say how fast we go, but we go real fast.
Yeah, and you got one coming up in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah. So they do a test day on the Friday, and then they race on the Saturday.
Can I ask, is the fun of that being different tracks and stuff like that? Different side of drag racing where you're not really chasing your time, you're just trying to be fastest on the day to the preparation and the service, weather, whatever it be. It's kind of like everybody against, trying to be the fastest. Yep. Be the first to the line, rather than who's got the quickest time or the fastest Gemini in the world. Yeah,
well, I mean, I think you find that it's because you're not going flat out. It's more fun. Yep. Stuff lasts longer. Like there's not a lot of breakages. You go to the Jamboree, just say, and everyone's just full send. Yeah. Like everyone's breaking shit all the time, but the no prep,
trying to maybe be the fastest car in the world.
Yeah, and there's a time up there, whereas all you're doing is beating the car. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if I'm lucky enough to go rounds today, if I'm in front, I will be lifting.
It's
I
like
will
the
only
equivalent
be
of the
going.
UFC of drag racing.
Yeah, I will only be going as fast as I need to win the race. I don't care about, like, they've got times here. I don't care about times at all. So it's a 650 cutoff.
Could you say then that you're racing against a person, you're very conscious of the person on the left or the right of you, whether you need to keep more into it or more and manage that?
Not really, no.
You don't think about them?
No, I don't think about them because you got to leave the line. My car's only going to do what it's going to do.
Yeah.
What you're talking about, the technology,
Yeah.
whatever we did, to control it, because everyone's got enough power.
Yeah.
You walk up and down the 650 class, which if drag racers know on a prep track, it's not that fast. But on this surface, you walk up there and see what those cars are that are running 650s in the class. Might be running 7.0s. They're fast as.
Yeah, I bet.
Like you've got Jamie's PSI, the Monaro.
I do, yeah.
What did it make, 1,000 kilowatt or something on the
Something
dyno?
like that, yeah.
Those cars are amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for those boys trying to keep it, get it to go down the track, that's a lot more difficult than me.
For those who don't know, what sort of technology are you using? Like once you line up on the line, what's the process and what sort of,
Well, I got a Heltec and Nexus 5 in it, so we went straight to that. Justin from Horsepower Solutions, like I said earlier, tunes the car, and we've got some stuff going on. So no, we haven't. He has. So he does Team Viewer for me. I was out here pretty late last night, going through the tune, trying to control it. But what we do is, and Justin, he's just that dedicated to it. It's really good. So I take my ECU to him before every meeting, and after he finishes work, and we'll sit down in the office and we'll just have a couple of drinks, and we'll just figure out what we're going to do. And that's what you got to do, eh? You can't go just say the same tune to every event and think you're going to do well, because everything's different. You know what I mean? You'll have this track, and then Lakeside, and then Warwick they did like a no prep up there, and I didn't go. Justin was working. And he said, "Oh, we should go." And I went, "I think the track's going to be too good for what we've got in it."
Gotcha.
Which worked out, because they were not that I can't run those times, but that track was killer out of the hole, and we haven't got a tune in it to hang with those, which we will have. But I'd rather go when he's there. So, like I said, I don't care if I win, but I want to come prepared. I don't want to not just win because I wasn't prepared. You know what I mean?
So once you get that data, you really can do a lot with it.
Yeah, that's
of
right.
Each track.
Yeah.
And run,
But you got to understand. So we tested on Saturday, right, at Lakeside, and I blew a gearbox up. So, but we did our tune for the 650, and which we end up running 650 here. We're at 653, 654 on the 650 cutoff thing. But our traction control curve, so our drive shaft curve we were going to use, the gearbox was slipping. So when we came here, it was way out, you know what I mean, because we got it repaired. So that was a little story. We flew to Melbourne to get parts on Tuesday for it.
Yeah. You were telling me the other day about a lot of prep before to get here.
Exactly. So we were standing at this guy that was making a planetary for us out of his workshop at 5 o'clock, and his hand still we flew home. So,
but flying from Queensland all the way to Melbourne to get stuff to fly back home to make sure this car was here for Rockynats.
Yeah, and you've got to have people that are dedicated. So Benny Valakin, who Elite Transmissions, who did the gearbox for me, I rang him up on Saturday and he's like, "Yeah, bring it over." He sent me a photo. So Wednesday night, I don't even know the date. Was it? Yeah, Wednesday. I got it back Wednesday afternoon.
Before this event?
Yeah, before this event. So we put it in that night, a couple hours sleep, and we came here.
Yep.
But he had everything cleaned beforehand from the Monday when he had it prepared, and rebuilt it that day for me, and so I wouldn't be here.
But I got to say, guys like you working with people like that, they love that because they love this story.
Well,
this
he's a
car
racer.
and the
He's a racer.
as well.
That's what I mean. He's
he knows
a racer.
how dedicated you are to this game.
Yeah, and it was like,
no question.
Always worried, and then he sent me a photo of it all like spread out and cleaned on his bench, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this," and he's like, "Let's go," and I'm thinking, "Okay," because you never know.
I'm getting G'd up thinking about it. I wasn't even there.
Not everyone is as stupid as me, so it's great to find people that are that dumb. You know what I mean?
I think you're going to say Billy for a second, then.
But
he's going to kill me for that.
But Justin just said, like when we were at the Saturday afternoon when we heard it, he's like, "Come back to the workshop, let's pull it out." He stayed back and we pulled it out. So I was at his door on Monday morning with it, on Benny's, and like, who does that? You know what I mean? They clear that. He's got plenty of work.
People who are as passionate as you, Paul.
Yeah, but they want to. They're racers.
The car goes
You know what I mean? He's got no. It's not his gearbox. It was a Mike's transmission gearbox from the States. You know what I mean? He's taken over now, so he's got a bit of a plan. He changed some stuff to make it live, which it seems to be going. So he's taken, like, it's not as if Benny built it and I'm ringing him up saying, it's failed because of you. No, it's not his deal at all. He's just Hollywooding it for me, mate. So it's so good. So it took me a few days to catch up. I don't know if I'm caught up yet. So from that, it's been a long week. So
it's been a long week, and you're staying just up here across the road in the hotel, and we've got burnouts across the river. You might be able to hear in the background.
Yeah, that's good. And last night, but they're having a drink last night, right? And it was good because Bill, he's helping me, because I help him with his car and build his car. He's helped me this weekend. So I was like, I'm going to bed. No one be drunk knocking on my door at 2 o'clock in the morning. So he's out there, guard on the back door, make sure no one gets in there. And so it was good. I got some.
I guess he knows what it's like too. And you guys have worked together as a team for all these Rockynats,
Yeah,
he just come away with plenty of trophies and deservedly so.
Yeah, he just doesn't know that it starts early, right? Because he just gets up at 8 and his car's cleaned down there when it's on show.
I know how that happens.
Yeah. How does that happen?
It's like leaving the washing around the house and miraculously it's folded back in the basket again, right?
That's because 6 o'clock I've gone to clean it. But man, it's hectic here and it's been a big help. So I wouldn't have been able to do it without the help. So because of the car's tech, I got to run all the suit and gloves and everything, and it's so hot. Yeah. It's good to have someone bringing a drink or use fan to cool it.
It's a process.
Yeah. And it's a nitrous car, so I've got to change a bottle here and there. So no, it's good. It's really good. It's been good. And whatever happens, it happens. You know what I mean? It's racing. I can, who knows what happens.
Yeah. Tell us lastly, what do you love about Rockynats? You've been to every single one.
It is the best by far, isn't it? I think it's laid back. Yeah. You can move around. I think it's because it's spread out a little bit. Yeah. So it's not like in everyone else's pocket.
It feels like the town becomes a car man's dream.
Yeah. And like you can go to this pub and then you can go to the next pub. You know what I mean? So and there's a little spot for everyone to relax if you want to get it.
Shine between the lot.
I'll tell you what, the four drives. It'd have to be the best four-wheel drive show in Australia.
Honestly,
it's out of control.
SWL Racing four drive show, don't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, the limiter bashing. Did you see that? The limiter bashing in the Super Cruise or whatever they call it. It was crazy. But I think it's because it's spread out. I think it's I've been to all of them. Yeah, by far the best.
Yeah, awesome.